Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to paint one of my favorite subjects ever, a jellyfish. We're going to get some incredible 3D results using simple pouring techniques and a glue gun. Let me show you how I did it. Today I'm going to do something special. When I started my channel, my first video was jellyfish, and since then I try to make one jellyfish per year just to celebrate it. And today I thought, why not try and make the jellyfish in the Beyond Pouring series with glue gun and various other elements. It's going to be on this lightweight long canvas, 50 by 20, and oh, by the way, I'm going to show you the very first one. The jelly that started it all. It started AV Creative, so that's the painting. I kept it, I couldn't part with it. So this is my very first video. If you haven't watched it, please do. And I'm going to make one today. So I'm trying to draw, well, let's call it the mushroom. Is that too big? Okay, just a little bit smaller. This is the only thing that I'm going to use glue gun for just at the moment. Yeah, it looks like the white cap mushroom, doesn't it? I did it on a piece of paper so I can position it and see how I want it. Now I'm actually drawing on canvas, so if anything goes wrong, I'll have to rub it off. There you go. So head is ready, and all I'm going to do, I'm just going to do the outline. Glue gun is ready. Okay, and I'm starting from here, and I'll try to go all around, hopefully in one go. Well, it didn't go in one go. Sometimes it just stops. Okay. Now I want this area enclosed, so I am going here and creating this shape I wanted to say, but I stopped breathing, sorry. That's that. And now I'm kind of thinking, do I want those lines or not? Maybe I'll add them later on if I need. I will just leave the shape as it is. I wanted it higher, so I went twice over this section. So we can pour the colors over. For the jelly colors, I've got a little bit of lilac left. These are all pearl colors. I want the jelly to be pearlescent, you know. Pearl rose, pearl magenta. Okay, so those were the colors for my jelly, but I'll actually start with the colors for the background. I'm going to use some new paints today. I'm going to show you how I mix my paints. I've got some very nice looking paints by my Artscape. These are heavy body acrylics, they are highly pigmented. I'm using Phthalo Green and Phthalo Blue, my very old sticks. They are with me since the beginning of the channel. How cool is that? I usually say half and half, roughly, of my pouring medium. So now, Floetrol. I actually have this attached to be semi-permanently, so then no blobs or any nasty gooey bits, they don't get into my paint. This is the British Floetrol called Ovatrol, which is thicker than the American one. Again, I'm not measuring, I'm imagining this is 1/3 or up to 1/2. It depends. So now I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to mix those two colors to get teal, because this is just nice green. It's kind of, you know, teal looking, but I do want a mixture of these. Oh, that's a lovely color now. Okay, so this is going to be my mid part. I took 2 palette knives, because one will be just for the background and one here. It's going to be tricky covering this section, but nevertheless we're going to do it. Starting with the blue. I want darkest at the top, only because I want my jelly to be really well seen. So that's this section, and of course once it's dry it's going to be darker, which is absolutely fine with me. This is the first time ever I'm doing anything like this. I'm hoping it's going to work, otherwise I will be unhappy. Well, icing the cake, that's what I'm doing now. It's going to be easy once I do this section. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to bring a brush. Yes, of course. Why didn't I think in the first place? I'll apply some blue here. I don't want too much, that's the whole problem. That's why I am going to use a brush to spread it, but it's still pouring acrylic. I only want this surface to be covered with paint. Doesn't matter if it's even or not. The one thing I don't want this to be dry, so I might come back later on and make sure it's still moist. Swapping just for a minute for the smaller one because I want to do this section. Just like that. That's really easy. Okay, so to be honest, I was panicking, but just a brush on the jelly is absolutely fine. And I can continue with the second color. I think it's high time to add this color now. Here the colors will slightly, of course, mix. And further on we will just have this. If we get some blue here, that's absolutely fine. I quite like it. I think it's nice if they slightly mix. So let's just put a bit more of this blue. A little bit of this. And a little bit of white. How about that? Really pretty. Just introducing this lighter one and then getting even lighter. Just making sure the end is done, and then we can proceed with the jelly. I can see there are some air bubbles forming, so I'll get rid of them. Now I'm checking this. Looking at the jelly, I probably need to add another very quick layer, because I can see it's getting dry in places. I don't want it as thick as the background. Why? Because I'm going to use different colors in a minute. That should be enough, I hope. And I am putting pearl white all along the edge. Now this is the time that this squeezy bottle will be handy. But you probably know how I dislike washing them. Now we can play a bit more with colors. So I think that's the magenta. But Floetrol makes everything lighter. I'm thinking, how about actually doing half with maybe purple and lilac? I might regret this. I was just looking at what other colors I have and have a little left over to make it more vibrant maybe. Maybe put them lower. Okay, and let's do the same with, oh, that's a deep color. Put some purple here. No, no, how could I? And lilac, so lilac will go higher. I'm totally improvising. I just want this jelly to be kind of colorful and fun. A moment of truth. Let's just blow it and see what happens. Okay. Did I want it to be contained? I wonder. I'll think about it in a minute once I finish. Put too much paint, didn't I? Yes, I did, but I do like the effect. I like it a lot. That's not a problem. Let's just get rid of some of the paint. I wasn't sure, whether I'm putting too much or not, because I was obviously improvising. I think I prefer the pink to the purple. I will just blow again here, because now I know how much paint I need. And I will take that off really gently. So what I'm going to do now, I am just going to put a little bit of pink here in between, because I decided I like both colors together here. And I'll blow over again. I do like this section. I think I might leave it alone. When you blow, you've got those lovely partitions, as you've noticed. And I do want to see some blue actually. With my finger, see what you can do with your finger. You can actually bring some colors back, and that creates this kind of dome effect. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, let me tidy up the edges and I will leave it alone, and then I will do the tentacles. So for this I'm going to turn it the other way Meanwhile, I am going to clean this section. It's so easy when it's all wet. The only thing I need to do is just a couple of drops of the blue here, and that's it. And I'm ready to drag the chain. We need our colors. I'm just putting them on the table, but of course you can have something else. I am going to put a couple of colors together in a row. You can make it as long as you want. Actually, I'm wondering how long do I want them. They will be, let me find a longer chain. So now we're dipping my chain. It's good to have a container with water so you can drop your chains once you're done. Thinking maybe I make it a bit longer. Now, where do I want it? Okay, let's drag it. Haven't done any chain work for a very long time. Oops. This chain goes into a jar. I want some darker color as well, so I'm going to drop a little bit of this now for my other chain, and I'll try to make it a bit wider as well. Doesn't have to be so long. Also, you can always add another section, you know, I'll show you. So let's just make one shorter. Okay, I'll finish here, and then I'm going to use the other part of the chain, the one that I haven't, oh, my fingers are so dirty, on top of this, because I want it much thicker. There you go. A couple more. I'll probably do 2 or 3 more. This time I'll add a bit of purple, and I'll do a couple here. You know those thick sections, they're not that many actually, but because this is only one jelly on one painting, that's why I'm making a bit more. The metallics will look awesome later on. It's not very easy to make the chain bend nicely, so I might do it again. This is far from finished. I'm just thinking if I could add anything once it's still wet. Just some of those like really thin wispy lines. I'm going to check. I'm just going to use a brush and see if I can still drag anything, if it's too dry or not. So let's just do one. Whoop. No, 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 no. Oh, you are just impossible. Come on. Why am I so clumsy? The good news is it's still wet, so, but honestly, just want to make a really, really thin line. Just like that, okay? So just want a very, very, very slight indication that there's something happening behind. That probably will do without me destroying everything else. I think I might leave it, and then we come back with more 3D elements. I'm sure you'll be surprised. Now look at this. Look at this. 2 days later. Isn't that cute? And how it shimmers. I'll show you what I started. I started painting the edges with the same metallics that I used, just on a small brush, just to make them even. So I just added some metallic color, and I think I'm going to cover this edge one more time with this metallic white, and then yes, I'll show you what I'm planning to do, because you were probably wondering why did I only add a few of these in the background and they are not white. I wanted to make 3D tentacles. I want to make them more, and I want to make them closer to us. So I'll try 2 more levels and let's see how that works. I'm very happy with that, and also I'm very pleased with this kind of uneven atmospheric sort of blue, dark and light. I thought first it's going to be one color, but I much prefer it this way. This is a pearl white. This is not titanium white. I actually didn't use any titanium white. I want the whole jelly to be really pearlescent and shimmering. especially once we finish the last stage. Next stage is as follows. I've got pearl white, titanium white, and this is all dry, so this is really good because if I make any mistakes, I can just wipe it off with this. I want to mix those two, but I really need a small amount. So as you can see, I'm not even using a different container. I am just taking a bit of this and a bit of that, a little bit of titanium white. Well, let's just add a bit of color to them. This pink, okay. And now I'm going to add some of the tentacles on top. Just thinking where roughly. Do I like it here? Or even if it's just for your sake, just to show you how easy it's to take it off. Added more white so I can see it better. That's the only reason. You have to be fast because then it flows nicely, but at the same time I don't have that much paint on my brush. That's better, except for this section. All right, now I'm happy. You see how it works? If you have some sections thicker than others, that's perfectly fine, because as you can imagine, those tentacles turn and you can see a bigger part in some places, so that's all right. You can of course go over some sections, but I'm not going to do it at the moment. I am adding a few more, just like this. So as you can see, they are in the foreground, aren't they? The long one. Whoops. Yeah, that's good. Maybe one somewhere here. Maybe not. So nice that you can wipe it off. You can always add some, make a thicker line if you wish. But I think it looks nice like this. I mean, a bit uneven. I'm planning the final stage now, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a photo on my iPad, just like that. And I'm going to use Procreate just to do a quick mock-up where I want my final elements, and you'll see what I mean. I'm going to just draw a few more tentacles that are going to be 3D. Yes, completely 3D, not like these. These are painted. So there might be overlapping the ones that exist. So I'm just seeing how many do I want. I think I'll do probably 5 just on top. Well, that's plenty, isn't it? But we'll have the ones behind, now the second stage and the third one. Of course they won't look like this, but this is roughly what I want. So now I'm going to use my glue gun. Oh yes, so I was thinking how to make the third stage without messing up what I've done, because if I make a mistake here, I'll be actually peeling off the paint and I'll damage the painting. I don't want that. So I hope you will like my solution. I do hope. I do apologize for this silicone mat. I was trying to find my brown one, but it's just gone. Nobody can find it. My studio was all nice and tidy last week because I was showing it to my lovely patrons, but unfortunately back to my mess now, and I've lost the brown mat. This is the leftover from the pansies dip. If you haven't watched it, that was a lot of fun. Balloon dip with pansies on a pizza board. I thought it would be better if I used my big glue gun, however I ran out of the big sticks. Then I found the silver one. At least you will see it better if I put it in. If the translucent stick ends, then we're going to have some silver. Well, I need some thicker tentacles, not so thin. That's one. Oh, there's a gap. So I'm trying and trying. Now you can see them in silver. The problem is, and this is my new glue gun, I don't know why I can't make a really long line. I have to press halfway through, and that's really annoying. Well, so that's the longest. So I've got quite a few. I think that's enough. In the end, I really like those silver ones. I think they go really well with the jelly. So now I'm thinking, what's the best way to glue them down? This is my first option. I've got diamond glaze. I'll try this one first, and if it doesn't adhere properly, I'm going to use super glue. This is the glue I use for jewelry making, so it should be fine. My fingers will get stuck because it's such a small bit. So I'm applying the glue to the flat side. I'm going to leave it for a minute till it becomes more tacky. Oh, the thin ending. I like it. I want to keep this ending. Okay. And now I'll try to apply it. Oh, okay. That's good. I want it somewhere here. Just like that. And now I'm holding. I think I need more fingers. Feels like it stays there. I can't switch the camera off now. Ah! I'm going to chop this one because I want it partially hidden behind this curve, just to make it a little bit more complex. That's the bit. Oh no! Not here. That's the right place. And that's the rest of it. I'm having so much fun with these. I'm not trying to advertise this glue, but I must say it's pretty good. It's as strong as super glue, and yet I can maneuver a bit. And the best thing is, because it's water-based, if something happens, I can wipe it off. So once I stick it down, it holds, but then if I don't like it in the position, I can actually peel it off, which is really good. That's the longest. It got stuck really well. Oh, love it. It's looking so good. I'm so excited. Adding a little bit of pink just to this end. I don't think it's really necessary, but just to finish it off. I do want the rest silver, and maybe I'll add a bit of purple as well. It's a really small amount, doesn't change much. I'm just imagining them being a bit darker at the very end because of the dome. As usual, I think a finger is the best tool. It looks pretty awesome now, but it could look even better, and you'll find out why I added the borders. So I'm going to add some resin. Yes, this is the resin I'm going to use. It's Mastercast by Acrylic. It's 1:1. That means 1 part of resin to 1 part of hardener. I took just a small amount. I was using a spoon, and now I am mixing it. I was using spoons, so I don't even know how much I measured. So I'm mixing really well, scraping the edges, making sure that both ingredients combine really well. This is ready. Just have to be careful to pour in the enclosed area. I'm going to add just a little bit first. You'll see why. Because I've got some plan. At the moment we can see air bubbles. Let me show you. See that? But I want the dome to be a bit sparkly and shiny. I very rarely use my mica powders. I've got the whole box. Look at this. I'm going to go for some color shifting, like chameleon colors. Okay, bubblegum glow. That's a bit of a pinky glow. That's good. Periwinkle. That should give me some blues. At the moment, the powder looks the same, like yellowish, but just you wait. I think 2 colors is enough. Which one was the pink one? This one, bubblegum. I'll add directly to here. I am not adding into my little cup. Is that enough? Oh, I don't know if you can see, but I'll show you at an angle in a minute once I spread it. And here I am going to add this periwinkle, just some. It's probably a bit more than I wanted. I bet you can see this blue now. Now this is going to be fun. Can you see the air bubbles? And I'm going to now get rid of them. Oh, by the way, I always forget, all the materials I use, they're always in the video's description with links. There's also 15% of discount on all the resin products and other discounts as well. Well, there we are. I am so happy with how this one turned out, and please let me know your thoughts in the comments. You can find an extended version of this tutorial on my Patreon, plus lots of extra content, and this original will be coming for sale on my website later on. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye!